Hello and welcome to a new video series that I am doing. At this time around, we are going to be doing some reviews on a very popular film franchise. One that has expanded upon to comic books. Obviously movies. It started out as movies, TV shows, all the stuff you can mention. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my review of Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. So yeah, basically I'm doing a review on the Star Wars movies that have come out. Now just to mention this, I'm doing this in the I can't say the word. Okay, chronologically order. Okay, on the chronological order. So yeah, we're doing Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith, A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, Force Awakens, and then The Last Jedi, just so we can go all the way up to The Rise of Skywalker that is releasing this weekend. And you're most likely going to see this video probably on Monday or something like that. Yeah, something like that. So yeah, anyways, let's just get straight into the movie. Now, when this movie came out, The Phantom Menace, it was a pretty big event. This was the first Star Wars movie to come out in 16 years. 16 years. Get that. Pretty big milestone. I think in a good way, maybe. Just so, people can be, yeah, Star Wars is back, all this stuff. And this was the first for the prequels, So, obviously, it was a big event, people were buying action figures, people were just, they were all hyped up, people skip work and school just for this movie. It was a big event. And when people watched the movie on that day, in May of when did it come out? 1998, 1999? Probably 1999, somewhere around there. People walked out of the movie, and you want to know what happened? Well, it was received with some good reviews, actually. Some good positive material. Stuff like that. But the problem is that now, 16 years later, the film is hated by Star Wars fans. It says it's the worst, all this stuff, blah, 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 blah. But what's really my opinion of the Phantom Menace? Well, let's go over the plot. The plot is... What is the actual plot? There's this peace treating going on, or this... Well, I don't know, some politics or something like that going on, Trade Federation stuff going on with the planet Naboo and, all this stuff. We get to see Obi-Wan Kenobi, a young Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Qui-Gon Jinn, and stuff like that. So... Okay, I'm going into the first complaint. The plot is kind of hard to follow. I wouldn't even know how to describe the plot, To be quite honest, the whole Federation stuff should have... I don't think that should have been the way to start out the movie with the opening crawl. And also, if I were to redo this movie, I would have this movie completely just about Qui-Gon Jinn finding Anakin. That's basically the reason why you watch the prequels, is just to realize what's the origin story, of Anakin Skywalker. How does he become Darth Vader? Well, this movie explains how, he was found by the Jedi, and stuff like that. So, the film doesn't really progress anywhere else, other than there's a big battle at the end, which is overshadowed by the Star Wars. I'm sorry, I can't talk today. By the lightsaber lightsaber duel scene with Qui-Gon, Darth Maul, and Obi-Wan Kenobi. So, yeah, I feel like the film was kind of remembered for that the most, and also the pod racing. So, yeah. So, that's one thing I didn't like about the movie, how the plot was really hard to follow. Another thing I didn't like, obviously, why are politics involved in Star Wars? I don't really get it. It's a soap opera movie about it's a family soap opera movie in space. What's politics doing in Star Wars? Let me see. The characters are not so great. So, I mean, most of them are just kind of there. Jake Lloyd, the Jake Lloyd jokes. He's okay. Natalie Portman is there. Obi-Wan Kenobi is kind of there, you know. Mace Windu and Yoda, they're kind of there, you know, and all this stuff. There really isn't new interesting characters. The Emperor was also in there, but I mean, but we'll get into the Emperor later. Okay, we'll get into this crazy bastard later. So, Darth Maul. I mean, Darth Maul. Okay, honestly, Darth Maul could have more potential in this movie. Hell, I don't know why he wasn't the main villain in the movie. You know, he should have been the main villain. Instead, he's only there for a few scenes. He's all like this, you know, and stuff like that, and just saying, "Alas, we reveal ourselves to the Jedi. Alas, we will have revenge." Something like that, you know. So, yeah, it's just a complete waste with that, you know. And also, here's something else I will kind of say as well. The overuse of CGI is very noticeable in this movie. Not as bad as like Attack of the Clones or you know, any other Star Wars movie that uses CGI. I think Attack of the Clones is the only Star Wars movie where there's a lot of use of CGI, I think. So those were kind of the bad things I thought about the movie. What were the good things about the movie? Well, the lightsaber duel scene, like I said again at the end of the movie, that's the biggest highlight of the movie. Just to show you how much the lightsaber duel scenes have progressed throughout the Star Wars movies. And plus, these actors, they train for that scene. Like, it was just impressive to watch them, you know, just fight each other, you know. And also, I was about to say Duel Fates, but the music was good in this movie too. It was pretty good, you know. The pod racing I thought was pretty cool, you know. People may say, "Oh, it went on too long," you know, and all this stuff. I kind of have to agree, maybe, but honestly, I prefer to watch that scene than to watch Jar Jar Binks being an idiot. I don't know. And I haven't mentioned Jar Jar Binks in this movie, and to be quite honest, I'm most likely going to be getting hate. I didn't hate Jar Jar in this movie, you know. And really, it's because I don't know. Maybe because Jar Jar is such a big meme. It's just like I kind of just want to see how do you just become a meme, you know? So I didn't hate Jar Jar as much, which could be pretty surprising from other people, you know, concerning, well, the main conception of the movie is that Jar Jar sucks, you know? And, you know, all this stuff. And plus, this is kind of the only movie where he kind of plays a major role in, as a main character, you know? The other movies, he's just kind of there in the background, or he doesn't even talk at all. In Revenge of the Sith, I'll just say this, Revenge of the Sith, he doesn't even, you know, like, talk, you know, and stuff like that. So, yeah, yeah. So, you know, that's kind of it. Visual-wise, with the amount of CGI that they used, it looked pretty good. You know, the planets look pretty cool, like Naboo look really, really cool. Coruscant looked very cool. It's pretty cool that we went back to Tatooine, but I'm going to get more into that when we go into Attack of the Clones. But, I think that's pretty much it with this movie. I guess the one thing I will leave out was it's pretty cool to see characters, and where they came from, you know? I mean, R2-D2 was just a droid on Padme's ship, you know, and then he came along and became the droid for Anakin Skywalker, Luke Skywalker, and, you know, Rey now. I suppose. No, wait, isn't that BB-8? I don't know. No, BB-8 is with Poe Dameron, actually, so, yeah, that's my mistake. And also cool to see C-3PO. I said C and C in there. Also cool to see where C-3PO came from, you know, just a normal droid that Anakin built. Oh, great, so now we had to have the whole thing of where Darth Vader built C-3PO. Tying everything together. Alright, so I think I got pretty much everything I need to talk about this movie. So how would I overall rate Star Wars Episode 1? The Phantom Menace. This movie had a lot of things going for it. Number one, it was the first Star Wars movie to come back on the big screen in 16 years. This was the first time since A New Hope that George Lucas has directed a movie. And, yeah, just, so, yeah. So I would overall rate this movie, you know what, I'm not going to give it a harsh rating because I feel like people have shit on this movie way too much. I'm going to give this movie a 6 out of 10 rating. A 6 out of 10. You know, the storyline is hard to follow. Some of the characters are meh, meh. There's too much overuse of CGI and Jar Jar being a dumbass, or, all this stuff. Or Jar Jar just being silly. So, yeah, that's my rating on The Phantom Menace. Tell me, what do you guys think of The Phantom Menace? And with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video where we're going to talk about probably the worst of the prequels, Attack of the Clones.